Hey, it's Fern Tree Shondo. I'm back for episode 15, Southwestern Harvester Salad. Come on, look at this. Look at my ingredients. I got all kinds of things going on right here. Come on over. I have a 4-ounce bag of Southwest seasoned tortilla strips. I've got Lowe's orange chipotle sauce, green leafy lettuce, green onions, 2 garden tomatoes, cilantro, 1 green bell pepper, 1.5 ounces of olives, a little over 1 ounce of sour cream, shredded cheddar cheese, and a cob of corn. Now, it's no secret that I like leafy greens. These are my leafy lettuce. It's green leafy lettuce. And all I'm doing is just cutting it in little subsections. Get it down to the stem, set the stem to the side. So I got my green leafy lettuce right here. And I'm just gonna keep cutting it, because I really just want to get it into biteable pieces. And that really should be the goal when you're making a salad. I'm just gonna chop just a little bit more. Got my green leafy lettuce ready. Let me go ahead and bunch it up so I have more space on my cutting board. Now we're gonna cut the green onions. And then when you're cutting these green onions, it's probably the best thing you can do first is really cut the stems off. So you always want to really line it up, those white pieces, and just cut really right in this area. Cut those stems off. Now we're ready to get to it. So I'm gonna actually start from this side, because this is the more solid side on the stem side. So you can just kind of dice them up how you want to. I suggest you get small chops, because that way that's gonna create good consistency for your salad. And everything's been pre-rinsed and cleaned. And the smell of these green onions are really, really distinct. They're not as strong as red onions, yellow onions, or white onions, but they're still onions. They can still make your eyes water. These really bring the flavor out in salads. Love to use them. And you can chop them as fine as you want to. I kind of like mine in chopped little chunks like this. So now Got my green onions chopped up. Let me bunch these up over here on the side of my board. Let me rinse my knife off really quick. Green bell pepper. Of course, the green bell pepper, you always want to stick your knife inside of that inside part of the stem and just kind of trim around that, because your goal is to get that seed pod out. And essentially, you can just chop a little bit on the sides, and that way it'll make it easier for you to get inside of there and get that out. So that's the seed pod. I'll set that over there. See how you got seeds on the inside? I'm gonna go ahead and rinse out my green pepper. I'll be right back at you. So I got all the seeds out of my green bell pepper. I'm gonna go ahead and slice it a little bit. Get some more of that meaty stem part out just by trimming it off with the knife a little bit. See, you still got some of that meaty stem part. Go ahead and get that out. So with the green bell pepper for salads, I suggest you chop at angles just to get you some angular slices, or even, you know, little bit slices, whichever way you want to do it. But it's good to have smaller slices for salads. It doesn't take long to chop it. So I got my green bell pepper cut. Slide that over here on this corner of the board. Rinse my knife off once more. And we're gonna go ahead and chop our garden tomatoes. I'm gonna chop it in half. Then I'm gonna chop it into a fourth. And I got two of them, so I'm gonna do both of them the same way. Chop it into a half. And get my fourths. Now, I'm gonna do expert level type chopping. Now watch this. Turn it over and just dice. You gotta do it quick though. And it's really good to do it with it turned with the outside part of tomato facing you. You just get better cuts like that. See, I got it turned with the outside skin portion facing me. And you're gonna chop real quick. Now you know tomatoes are soft once they get ripe. I like my tomatoes ripe. I like them red. So we're just dicing them up. There's seeds in there. And that you want that because that's real tomato you got. That's what's gonna give you that flavor. It's gonna set the salad off like it's supposed to be. I mean, the infusion of these vegetables smells really, really good on the board. I I encourage everyone to use fresh vegetables. I know a lot of people like using canned. I'm gonna suggest in these days and times it's way better for you to get fresh vegetables and fruits from your local produce department and grocery stores, farmers markets, or even from your own backyard if you got a garden. It's the best way to do it. All right, so I got my 2 garden tomatoes chopped up like I want them chopped. And you can see the seeds in there. I like mine fresh, just like that. I'm gonna rinse my knife off again. I'm gonna come back and get this cob of corn. And with my cob of corn, I'm gonna get me a little container here that I can basically chop these corn bits off into. And you see how I'm putting my knife, I got it right, I'm chopping right into the cob, but not all the way into it, just enough to get off the corn. You gotta be gentle with it too, because if not, it'll probably go all over the place. So the goal is just to get it off like that. Now I boiled this cob of corn for approximately 25 minutes. So it's pre-boiled. I basically marinated it with a little olive oil before I boiled it. And it comes off really easy. I think that olive oil is good to use because it makes the corn, once it boils into that corn cob, it makes the corn come off easier. So see how it's just coming off real easy as I go through it with the knife? And that's really what you want. You want it to come off really easy. So I got my corn ready. I gotta separate it. And you can really do this a couple of different ways. I think it's probably gonna be better for me to just do it with my hand. I'll do it with my hands because that way I can kind of get each individual piece of corn off and separate it like I want to. So that's really the easier way to do that. You're just gonna gently just take your fingers and just run them through the little corn stubs, and you can get each individual kernel separated like you want it. So I got my corn kernel separated. I got my black olives ready. I got my shredded cheese ready. Got my sour cream. What y'all know about that? And of course, I got my tortilla strips and my orange chipotle seasoning ready to go too. So we're about to get all of this together. Of course, I got my cilantro. I'm gonna basically just leave it as is, and as I put this salad together, I'm gonna pull off the pieces of cilantro and drop them in. I'll show you that. Got my container. We're gonna put it together. I'm gonna start with the lettuce. I got my green leafy lettuce. Now, of course, it's better to have more than you need than not enough. So I'm gonna start with that. I got my lettuce. Now we're gonna go with the green peppers. Put my green bell peppers on, just a few. Now I'm gonna put some corn on. The next thing I'm gonna put on is my Southwest seasoned tortilla strips. So I'm gonna sit my container here. See, I got my strips here. These are really good. They're pre-seasoned. You just put them on. Of course, it's up to your discretion how much you want to put on, depending on the serving size. I'll just spread these around just a little bit. Next thing I'm gonna do is put my olives on. I'm actually gonna use all of these. That's basically 1.5 ounces of olives. Then I got my tomatoes. And of course, I'm not gonna use all of them on this particular serving because it's all about your serving size. You wanna have more than enough. That's key. Now I got my green onions. And these are gonna bring out that flavor. They always do that. It's up to you as to how many you want to put on per serving. I don't want to go overboard, but I'm gonna put enough on there to where that flavor is gonna kick in. Now I got my cheese, shredded cheddar. Put some of that on. And it's up to you as to how much. And of course, I got my cilantro. Now the thing about this cilantro, you see how it's basically just hanging off the stem, right? Like you see it? Like each little leaf is hanging off the stem. So all I have to do, now I'll move it closer so you guys can see it. All I have to do is basically just take and tear it off and put it on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I know you can see it from over there, but I'll slide it right here just so you can get a little bit better view. Got my cilantro, and I'm just taking it, just pulling it off the stems, because ultimately the cilantro is gonna give you that, it's gonna add to that Southwestern type flavor that you're really looking for. And really, cilantro's got a distinct taste to it. I love it. It's got a distinct smell and taste. So if you know anything about cilantro, you know what I'm talking about. If you've never really tried it, it's good to actually use it on a salad of this nature, a Southwestern salad that's seasoned. And this is my Southwestern harvester salad. And I'm not gonna use all of my cilantro because like I said, it's gonna bring out a distinct flavor, right? So I'll use that much. I'm gonna put a little bit more corn on the top. And I'm also gonna put just a little bit more green pepper on, just on top. Now I still got 2 toppings left. Move my corn over so you can see. I got my Lowe's Foods orange chipotle sauce. Hey, if you got a Lowe's Foods near you, I suggest you go ahead and get some of this. You can use it on a variety of different dishes. Let me shake it. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on. This is really good. Oh, that's good. I can smell it too. Almost finished. Now, ooh, that smell. Man, that's good. I got my sour cream. I'm just gonna put a dab in the middle, a dab on the side, another dab on the side. And that's going to top it off right there. Southwestern Harvester salad. That's the close-up. I know you're loving that. It's taste test time. Southwest Harvester salad. Let me dap on over. See that? Ooh, that looks good. And man, it smells good too. Let me give me a forkful. Man, it's hitting so hard. I'm gonna make you just do like a little bit of a shoulder lean, just a little something. You know? That's that Southwestern Harvester salad. Furniture Sando did it again, episode 15. Eat healthy. That's all I ask. That's what I do.